Hi, Rahman. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you, Rakesh.
Yeah.
Mm,
Rahman, can you tell us something about yourself?
Yeah, I am Raymond. I have I belong to from Delhi NCR. I
Mm-hmm.
have started my QA career in 2021 as a manual tester,
Okay.
and uh, and I have completed my BTech MTech graduation from Maharishi Dayananda University, Rohtak, and
Great.
I have teaching experience also for 5 years before this
Mm-hmm.
QA career. And
Okay.
now I'm completely focusing on as a QA automation in.
Great. Great. Okay. One thing when you are telling about introduction, so you can tell that you have experience in testing. Okay. You don't need to specify manual or automation until and unless they ask you. Okay.
Okay.
Another thing is you have experience in teaching so that if they notice or if they observe somewhere or if they are asking you, then you have to tell because teaching is a non-technical thing. So
Mm.
it's fine if you avoid in the introduction, but if they ask you upfront, then you can tell, yes, that I have that prior experience as well. And now I am completely into the testing from 2021 to 2025. I'm doing testing only. Okay. So those kind of things. Fine. Can you tell me what is the duration of the sprint in which you are working?
Uh, it was maximum 2 to 4 week
Okay.
maximum, and it can extend. It was extend like maximum to maximum 5 week.
5 weeks. Okay. You have in your company what has been followed?
In my company actually it was completely based on if in between the sprint, if we get any new enhancement or a
Mm-hmm.
new requirement from the customer, then it goes the beyond the time also. But mostly in my company we take the target 4 to 5 week.
Okay, okay. So in your company, you have either 4 week or you have 5 weeks.
4 week
Four
mostly.
weeks, 4 week sprint you have.
Yeah,
Okay,
yes.
okay, fine. Okay, let's say you have a user story assigned to you for testing,
Yeah.
and um, the product owner or the stakeholder is asking some changes to be done in the middle of the sprint for that user story. So imagine you're testing a user story which is associated with the add to cart option.
Okay.
Okay. And in the middle of the sprint, there is a request from the product owner or from the stakeholder that in that add to cart option, they also need a kind of one more enhancement, or maybe they want to add one or two more features as a part of that add to cart option. So, how would you deal with this situation? What would you do in this situation?
Meanwhile, if
Hmm.
we are getting in between the sprint new requirement, then
Hmm.
first we will in our team we will discuss if this is not affecting in our the sprint which we have covered.
Hmm.
Then we will include in this our current sprint. If this is have any critique complexity or any more time taking requirement, then we will
Hmm.
differ, or in the next sprint we will take move this.
Okay, okay. Moving into the next sprint, you will have to discuss first with your QA lead
Yeah.
or with the QA manager. Of course, you'll have to bring Scrum Master also on the same page so that there is no discrepancy. But that's a good answer that you gave. If the effort is more, you'll request the seniors to move it to the next sprint. But if it is very critical to be achieved in the same sprint, then you will request to your leads or managers to give you some helping hand or to have some additional testing resources, testers with you. Okay, so that's what you can give the answer. So that's a good point that you raised. If the complexity is high, then you'll request for the moving it out. Okay, fine. Now let me give you a scenario-based thing. Okay, so we were discussing about add to cart option, that user story you are testing. Let me share my screen. Yeah. Uh, is the screen visible?
Yeah, yes, right.
Okay. So you are working on this user story, which is add to cart option. Okay. And this is a user story. You're working on it in your current sprint. Let's say it is sprint number 3. This is third sprint. Now, prior to this, that is in the sprint number 2, in the earlier sprint, you are working on some search feature user story. That is your sprint number 2. Okay. So it got completed at that time. You signed off that particular user story and you told that this has been completed. Now, what happened when you are working on this particular story in sprint number 3? You came to know that the customer who is doing UAT testing, okay, they have got a defect in the search feature, which you have already tested and signed off in the sprint number 2. Okay. So your team lead or your manager comes to you and they ask you to do root cause analysis. They ask you to do root cause analysis, like um, the bug that has been found by the customer. Is that a valid defect or is that an enhancement? Those kind of analysis, those kind of troubleshoot you have to do. So what would you do here? Would you continue with your sprint number 3 task or would you take up your sprint number 2 task?
Sprint number two task, I will first troubleshoot how it came, or but because if we have already given sign off for this sprint two, and suddenly we are getting this bug from the product owner, then we will I will take care of this sprint two, and I will check the where I missed it, or what are the it may, when this regression obviously this is the regression because we have passed it in our testing. So what at what time this regression came, and I will debug and will discuss with our team. So
So
this
that's a
thing first I will
great.
take care of the sprint too.
Okay, so that's the thing. So when you are troubleshooting, when you are doing root cause analysis, based on that, you'll come to know whether it's an really a issue or it might be something that was not a part of your user story, but then it has been, that's what the request has been coming up from the product owner or from the UAT testers that this is not working. So that you will have to discuss with the team. So that's a valid point. But whether it's a regression issue or not, for that you'll have to troubleshoot. You cannot directly jump to the conclusion that
Yeah.
it's a regression issue. Okay. Another thing is here, one more point that you can add is the answer that you gave is correct. But apart from this, what you can add over here is that you will also discuss with your team what needs to be taken in the priority. Is it sprint number 3 task or is it sprint number 2 task? Is it something that sprint number 2 task, maybe you can give 2 hours, and once the troubleshooting is done, then you can continue with the sprint number 3 task. So, what is priority for you as a tester that you need to discuss with your team? Okay. And in the stand-up call also, you have to tell that as of now, this particular thing has come up, so I need to jump into this testing to this particular doing root cause analysis as well. Okay. That's what you can do. Okay. Now, let's say you are testing sprint number 3, add to cart user story. Now, what happens in this particular user story is that there is an integration test case in which your search option plus your cart option both will be getting involved. So there is an integration test case for this particular user story which involves search option as well. Now, when you are doing integration testing, okay, at that time you found that search with the electronic products. Okay, that's a specific category of the products, electronic products, which is not working. Okay, so what would you do now? Would you raise a defect or would you talk to your team or what would be your next course of action?
After if the build is already integrated, like these both this functionality add to cart or search are integrated and we are getting for testing, then I will definitely raise the question. This is the issue. It is not fetching the result for the electronic products only. So
Hmm.
I will raise it as a bug.
Okay. Now the dev team might come to you and say that you tested this user story in sprint number two. Was it working at that time? Are you getting my question?
Okay, no, now
Ah,
I got your question. You're
yeah.
saying कि ना later on when I got this functionality, I took card, then I get this defect in search.
Yes.
It is not fetching the result for electronic products.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So, so see, there are two things here. First is you would have tested the scenario in sprint number two. It was working, but now it is not working.
Not, yeah.
That is one of the situation. The another situation is maybe at that time in sprint number two, you missed it. But as a part of integration testing, when you are testing this particular thing, at that time you found this issue. So what would you do in this situation?
I will check the my test cases or test scenarios
Perfect.
that's
Perfect
I
answer.
have covered this scenario or not in my spin 2 test cases.
Hmm.
If I have covered, then I would raise it as a regression defect. If it
Hmm.
is missed from my side, then I will check again testing
Yeah,
it.
yeah. So that's a good answer. What you have to do is you would be storing your test results in the Jira, maybe Jira or any other tool that you are using. So in that, you would track the result of that particular test case in the earlier sprint based on your date. So you'll go ahead and check whether it was pass at that time or whether it was fail. Okay, if it is pass, fine. If it is now not it is working, that means now it's a regression issue. If it was failing at that time, then what you need to do is you need to search that defect ID. You would have raised a defect for that particular failure of the test case. Okay, that you can hand over, or that it also you can put in the remarks that this is not working. Okay, the third scenario is you miss to test this particular scenario in sprint number two. Now, in sprint number three, you are getting this as an issue. So, still you can raise a defect. And when anyone comes to you and say, why you did not get it in sprint two? So you can say that it's a miss from my end, but as of now, I have added into my regression suite or added into my test suite. Okay. It's fine if the test cases are getting missed. But what is very important is in the future, this things should not be getting repeated. It's not fine actually. We should not miss the any of the test scenarios, but then see a detailed round of testing might miss certain kind of categories. Okay, with this category only it is not working. So then you will have to troubleshoot and accordingly you will have to add those scenarios as well so that in the future you don't have these kind of test cases getting failed.
Yeah.
Are you getting my point?
Yes, Rakesh.
Yeah. So that's how you have to answer. Okay, fine, great. Okay. Do you attend retrospective meetings?
Yeah, yes.
Okay. Any kind of feedback that you have given in the retrospective meeting?
Yeah, in retrospective meeting, actually, after completing any project and before getting the any other new, the same type of the project, there was always uh, retrospective meeting happen. So in that meeting, what we like discussed most of the time, like the same type of regression happened at the time of the release. Though sometime at the time, just because of the less resources from the developer side, most of the side we
Hmm.
face such type of the issue कि we couldn't get the our like the product build at the time. So
Okay.
and some features like at the end of the like our commitment or like today night we are gonna we have to do give the prod build, but still there are some major issues are pending to resolve
Hmm.
from the dev side, and we are waiting for to resolve them. So such type of thing and such type of the issues root cause we will discuss, and next sprint we try to improve them from dev side or for QA side as well if we are missing something critical in
Hmm.
our test cases. So
Okay. So you mean that your user stories are you're not getting sufficient time to do regression testing.
Yeah, yes, correct.
Okay, so that you will highlight in the retrospective. Okay.
Actually, this issue I seems it was the practical issue in my
Mhm.
last company.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Fine. Uh, okay. Okay. So let's say you are in the last day of the sprint and you were testing a user story, but now the recently one of the build has been um, deployed, and after that, most of the things are not working. And especially your user story, it is working 50%. 50% it is working, 50% of the test cases are not working. And today is the last day of the sprint. So what would you do in this situation?
I will like raise the all the bug and I will
Mm,
give the complete uh, executions report and what is working, what is not working. First, I will give the all the details to my QA lead or my project manager. Then, as per according to them, I will like inform the direct text or direct call to the dev team. So
mm,
and if there is the like if 50% of storage is not working, then there is no like a question to release the build or sign off the sprint. So,
mm. Okay, fine. Okay, can you tell me about your roles and responsibilities? What are the different things that you are doing as a tester?
as a tester, in the starting, I was just getting the test cases created by my colleague or my
Mm,
peer. Then later, I was started to creating the test cases and individual project also I have handled in my company. Then after like getting the project review or the requirement analysis, I was create the test cases. Then the test data itself and the estimation also I have prepared for the project.
mm,
And after completing these things, I start like regular queuing on the my project. So and after completing the QA round, then regression issues are there. Then also regression testing I have done. And if there is like some new joinee also, like after
mm,
4 year I get the good experience in that company. I
mm.
have trained the new joinee also.
Okay,
As a helping hand, I was working with my QA lead also, and in her absence I was playing little QA lead role also.
okay, okay, great, great, fine. So, do you assign tasks to your junior team members?
Yeah, in a project, like we have different user stories. So some part I have assigned to one my junior and some another, and some I have taken myself.
Okay, so you are assigning tasks to them, plus you are also doing the task yourself as well.
Yeah, yes.
Okay, okay, great. Fine. This is very important. If you just tell in an answer in an interview that I'm assigning the task, I'm uh, making sure that they are able to complete it on the time, I'm reviewing the task. So this will not assist much. These days, in the companies, they are looking for both kind of roles.
Yeah.
One is someone who can mentor the testers, guide them, plus at the same time, they themselves are productive enough.
Yeah, and even if they are facing any issue, like or lack of any test data, they are not
Mm,
getting where we have to take the help to
mm,
verify this issue or to resolve this. So in that case also I help them.
mm. Okay, okay, great. Fine. Okay, let's move to the next question then. Okay, let's consider a scenario. Let me share my screen. Okay. Let's say you have got a user story A, which you have to test. And it is, let's say, a three-pointer user story. You are aware about story points, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And at the same time, you have a junior which has been assigned user story B, and that is offered 2 points. Now that the team member of yours, which is less having less experience compared to you, right? Is a junior in your team.
Yeah.
So you need to review their task before they sign off that user story or before they move that user story to the done status. So when they are working on that user story, the status would be in progress. And when they are completing it, it would be into the done
Mm.
state. So can you tell me how would you review whether he or she has completed their user story properly or not?
After giving the sign off from them, I will definitely review once.
Yeah.
Are
So
these
what are the different points that you will consider for the review? What you will review when you are saying I'll review? What generally do you review?
I will generally review the like the main functionality. Like, is there any blocker type? All these main functionality are working,
Hmm.
and like major type of functionality I will review, and like this uh, call.
Hmm. Think, you can take your time to think. Yeah.
Yeah, I will review the major functionality if I
Hmm.
also have the task to complete
Hmm.
within the like time.
Hmm.
So, and if there is some, actually what happens in
Hmm.
the real time scenarios, if there
Hmm.
is some scenarios missed by them, my
Hmm.
junior, I can say. So, like she covered the main scenario, whatever she can on the screen, like negative scenario, some scenarios she has forgotten or not uh, uh, covered in the test in her testing. So I will check those, especially the negative scenario. What like she can't imagine that scenario also could be uh, test here or not. So such type of things I will verify in my reviewing in the user story B.
Okay, fine. See, one thing that you told is you'll retest those major functionalities. So in that also, for now, you can take care of the happy path because there will be many scenarios in that user story. So you can tell that I'll test happy path. I'll retest just to ensure that that thing is working fine. Another thing is you have to review his test cases, your junior's test results, right? Test cases, test results. You'll ensure that all the corner cases, the edge cases are covered. Okay, those things are covered. Then you will also test about the in the test cases, you will test if the testing techniques have been implemented properly. Okay. Apart from testing techniques, you will also check if the negative test cases have been covered. Okay. Then if the user story is related to migration, then you will see what kind of test data has been used. Migration means what? Let's say they have to verify the data after getting migrated from one database to another, let's say from SQL to Oracle or from Oracle to SQL, vice versa. The migrated data should be properly working and it should be visible, it should be properly displayed, all those migrated test data. So in this case, you will check what kind of test data they have used. So in this case, the correct approach would be that you can clone some of the values from the production database and then you can test it. Because if you are testing with the dummy data, you will never know what is the reliability of that thing. But if you're testing with the production based data, that's what will give you the confidence in the testing. Okay, because the customer is already in the production environment and they will be migrating their data. So when they will migrate the data, so at that time, what is going to happen? So those kind of real time practical thing you will be able to know in your testing when you're doing in the lower environment. Okay. Another thing is what kind of users they have used. Let's say if they have used admin or super admin kind of users. So these are the users which everyone will not have the rights. Admin means what? It has full rights, full privileges. But generally, there will be admin user, one or two would be an admin user, but other users would be the non-admin users. So you have to test mostly first priority from the non-admin side as well, because for admin everything is working fine, but for non-admin, if it is not working, then the impact of that defect would be more higher compared to the other users, right? And most of the users would be non-admin, not everyone would be having full privileges, right? So those kind of things you can check at the time of review
Yeah.
the user story. Okay. And okay, now let's say um, you are already having your own user story A, which you need to complete by, let's say today is Monday, so you have to complete it by Friday. And your team member is having user story B, which they need to complete by Friday, and they have completed only 10% of the user story. Okay, let's say today is Wednesday, they have completed 10% of the user story only. So it is possible that on Friday, that particular user story might not get completed. It
Yeah.
might take a spillover.
Yeah.
So what would you do in this case? Would you assist for testing user story B, or would you allow it to get spillover?
In this case, I will discuss first why this is completed yet 10%, because if
Mm-hmm.
there is any complexity or there is any issue for testing, any lack of resources or any network issue, then I will discuss first about these things. Then if there is happening this thing, then why didn't they inform till
Mm-hmm.
now? So if there is like something, some such type of issues are not there, and if there is any issue like from test data related or anything from they want from me or like QA lead, so such thing also they should inform. If any reason from QA side, then this is our responsibility to resolve them immediately. But if there is any communication gap or anything, so I will consider, and I will give them time also, and once I will discuss project manager also and QA lead also ki in
Mm-hmm.
this case what should we take the step.
Correct, correct. And the very important point that you mentioned is, if they are not able to complete the user story, or they feel the progress is not with respect to the timeline, like today is Wednesday, today is third day of the sprint, Monday to Friday, 5 days are there. Wednesday, third day of the sprint, still it is 10%. Then they should communicate with you proactively that this is what we might get blocked here. We might not be able to complete this user story by this Friday. So we might need additional help, or we might need additional resources, or we might need something to help us, right? So those kind of things. So that's very important. If they give you prior communication, or if they keep you in those kind of proactive communication loops, so it would be beneficial for them as well as for you, because you cannot keep your story in progress till Friday. You also have to complete the user story. You
Yeah.
are given separate independent responsibility as well, right? Okay. Can you share with me how do you estimate a user story? What is your estimation technique? Let's say some user story is given to you. How would you give estimation?
Actually, my estimation technique was, Rakesh, first in which in the staging environment, in the
Hmm.
QA environment, mostly we have to give the estimation in the staging environment. So,
Hmm.
what type of functionality and how much time this will take, and in across the browser testing also we have to provide the key what time,
Hmm.
how much time we have to given in one functionality and in one browser. So such type of estimation we provide company, and then most of the time estimation we taken in the staging environment. Then on the QA we just give the half of half the time, and on production it is the just
Hmm.
some very less time on production we
Production,
estimate.
yeah, in the production environment, you would be hardly doing any testing.
Yeah. But
Production is,
major,
yeah, please go ahead. Please go ahead.
but major functionality, like just if there is any smoke type thing is there, or like this
Hmm.
thing we have to verify.
Yeah, yeah. From the smoke testing perspective, if you are doing it, then it is correct. You
Mm.
would be just performing smoke testing a very high level. So production environment estimation or that production environment testing you are not supposed to do, and you are not supposed to give that estimation also.
Yeah.
Right. From the staging environment or from the lower environment, how do you give the estimation?
I will distribute the across the browser testing,
Hmm.
and the user stories, how much time it this functionality will take the, and these scenarios take the, different functionality I distribute. Estimates yeah, this will take the this much time, and this will take the this much time. So
Hmm.
in this browser I will take this time. So firstly, first we prior the Chrome browser, then we go to
Hmm.
the Firefox, and then Safari. So in first browser, we give the more estimation as compared to the another browser, because in the first round of the testing we have to take more time as compared to others, because major issue we can catch in the first round of the testing.
Hmm. Hmm.
So in this
Correct.
way, I was given the estimate.
So overall, this is the correct approach. And apart from this, what you can add is it also depends on the complexity of the user story. If the user story complexity is high,
Yeah.
it might take you somewhere around 5 to 7 days. You always have to give the answers in the terms of range. If it's a medium complexity user story, then it would be taking somewhere around 2 to 3 days. If it's a low complexity user story, then it might take half a day as well, or
Mm.
maybe 1 hour or 2 hours, depending on the effort. So complexity plays an important role. Okay, so that also you have to consider while you are giving the answer. Okay, okay, Raman, I am done with the interview. Do you have any questions for me?
No, Rakesh.
Yeah.